Hi, Sharon. How are you? How are you? Share out for me, Sharon. Share out. Share out for me, Sharon. It's so nice to see you. Oh, your support is remarkable. So nice to see you. I'm trying to share. Great. I'm trying to share. Sharon, go ahead and share with me. Go ahead. Angela Lewis, how are you? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Nice to see you guys. I hope you had a good day. I hope you had a good day. It's been a while. Yes, nice to see you guys. It's been a while. The platforms are quiet tonight, so I figured I come and visit with you guys. So you guys go ahead and share and invite for me, share and invite for me, share and invite for me, because we're going to look at a topic that someone has asked me to address. We're going to look at that topic tonight. Still don't get in it. I don't know what to do about. And I think that's what's the problem is, that people don't know when I'm on. I'm trying to share on Facebook and all that. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know what, because people used to get my notification. With this new system, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. This is a new system I got about 3 months ago. I haven't been on it a lot, but I noticed that since I'm on the system, that you guys are not getting, but you're hearing me though. You're hearing me. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me, guys? Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me, guys? Let me know if you're hearing. Yes, you are. Great, great, great. So, I wish I had a tech savvy person that lives with me, because they would solve this thing for me. Angela, you guys can't get in and fix it for me, or is there a link I have to send you? Princess Rose, thank you for coming in. Angela, I need you to reach out to me on Facebook. What need fixing, Prince? For some reason, folks are not getting my notifications. And this is a new system I've had, and it's been giving trouble ever since I got it, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So, Princess Rose, can you help me with that? Is there a link I need to send you for you to get in and assist with that? Or you could reach out to me on Facebook and sort of walk me through it. Let me know, Princess. You have been getting them. Okay, that's encouraging. Ask Angela and Princess Rose. That's what I'm doing, Sharon. Right now, Sharon, you're getting my notifications. So it's only Angela that's not getting them. I see what you're saying, Angela. So Angela, you're not getting my notifications. Okay, so we've got to do something about that, because I really need for folk to get the notifications. Could you guys do some share and invite for me? Just share and invite for me. Princess Rose, should I be honored? Or should I go, and she's mega out there. Oh, really, Sharon? I didn't get it. I'll take a look again. Thank you, Princess. Thank you. Sharon, I'll take a look again to see if I get a message from you. If not, go ahead and reach out to me again. Angela, I would never, ever ignore any of you that reach out to me. And for all of those that are not in the chat, that are on, oh my goodness, Winsome, thank you. Welcome. Thanks for joining. And for those of you who have joined and are not in the chat, I just thank you for coming in. Tonight, okay, I don't know how to do that, but I'm going to look into it. I guess Princess Rose will help me with that. Good night again, Winsome. Good night again. Winsome, did you get my notification? Oh, Sharon, did you get my notification, Winsome? We're trying to figure out if we have a notification problem, Winsome. So let me know with a thumbs up if you got notification. Okay? Let me know if you got notification, Winsome. Because we're trying to figure out if I have a notification issue on the channel. No, you didn't. Thanks for finding me, Winsome. Thanks for finding me. So we're Princess Rose is going to help me to fix that, to see why some people are getting it and some are not. But Winsome, you know, I appreciate all of you guys' support, and I support the channel that I choose to support, and it's an honor to support you guys and have you support me, and I don't take it for granted. You have notification problems. Okay, Winsome, that's nice to know. Hope your vacation is going well, Winsome. Winsome, go ahead and share out for me and invite. Because and tonight what I'll be looking into tonight, I don't know if you guys saw it. I'm gonna talk about how to transfer your CNA license from one state to the other. How to transfer our CNA license. Oh, I see. How to transfer our CNA license from one state to the other. I know not all of us on here are CNAs, and also for caregiving certification, it's a total different arena than a CNA. Because for caregiving certification, every state asks that you're certified in their state and that you meet their requirements. But for CNAs, okay, Angela, so it's been a while since you got notifications. Okay, I am going to see what I can do. There's this, I'm going to talk to a family member that is very good with these things and see what they suggest for me to do. Okay, so as I was saying, for caregivers, if you're a caregiver in Florida, Georgia, New York, wherever you are, and you move to my state, I know that there are agencies that will hire you. Oh my goodness, MVE lady behind the scene, I'm honored. Good night. Thank you for your support. So I know in my state, most agencies ask that you are certified in the state of Arizona and nursing home. However, if you have worked and you have left a job within a week or two, not months or years, and you apply for a job and you have an active reference, they will hire you and either train you, recertify you, or wait until you get that certification in this state. However, when it comes on to CNAs, CNA is on a higher level than a caregiver, so the requirements are more rigid. The requirements are more rigid. So therefore, if you're planning to move from one state to another, I would strongly suggest that you Google the state that you're planning to go in to see if there are prosecutors, if there are, this word gives me such a hard time, but to see if there are a state that will give you the ability to transfer your license from the state you're coming from. Now, here is the big catch. Once you have identified the state that you're going to, reach out to your nurse's aide. And that's what that agency is called under the Department of Nursing. It's called the Nurse's Aide Registry. You reach out to them and you make an application of transfer. There are fees that some states that are entailed in some states that you have to pay for this paperwork. So you reach out to them and you make your application of transfer. You pay your fee in advance before you relocate. Then when you get to the state that you're going to, you put in your, hi, Karen Thomas, how are you? Good night. When you get into the state that you are relocating, you do the same steps. You reach out to the state because you have already done your homework. You already know that this state will give you reciprocity to work on your CNA license after you have put in all the paperwork. So you know the state is going to accept your license. You get in touch with the state. You file an affidavit or an application, and you petition to have your license transferred. Now, after you have done that and you've paid all your fees, keep all the paperwork that are given to you. Keep all the paperwork that are given to you. So when the time comes for you to apply for a job, you have proof that this paperwork is in process. But let me backtrack a little bit. In order to get reciprocity in another state, on your CNA license, your CNA license must be clean. You must have no infraction on it. Your driver's license must be clean. You must be able to pass a drug test and a background test in the state you're going to if they deem that necessary. Now, my state, you can't do anything here without a drug test or a background test. This is what we call the purity state. Everything has to be documented legally. So the state that you're coming from, and here, because even if you're not working as a nursing assistant, you might come across someone that is a nursing assistant that asks you these questions, and you're able to re-educate them. The elephant in the room in employment, and this statement not only goes for caregivers and nursing assistant, it goes across the board on jobs. The behavior, and I did an episode on this a couple months ago. Our behavior on social media is going to leave a lot of us homeless and jobless. It seemed like it's, I don't know what's going on. It's an epidemic. Whatever we put out there, whatever behavior we put out there, employment will be affected. So even if you're leaving your state and you have your CNA license, remember the state that you're going in, the rules might be a little more, I know for here, they're very rigid with employment here. You have to do your background test. You have to do your fingerprint. You have to do your drug test. You have to do motor vehicle clearance. And in some agencies and some facilities, you have to have a food handler's license. So therefore, you have to present documents to the state again. And if there's an infraction that is negative on those documents, you will not be employed. But once your documents are in order and you can prove to employers that you have done the necessary legwork to get your license transfer, you have proof, they will employ you. Because remember, when we get employed, we're in a probationary period. And a lot of folk think that the probationary period is just for them to pretend that they're perfect workers and nice co-workers. But the probationary period, especially in my state, I can talk a lot about my state. The probationary period is to wait until those fingerprints come back, the drug tests come back, to wait until the license come back. And if there's an infraction or anything that goes against the way they expect their business to be represented, that's when they'll let you go. But living from one state to the other, the state that gave reciprocity, like my state, you can get a job. And moving to a state that does give you the ability to transfer your license over, most of those states pay more hourly. Most of those states pay more because they want you in their door. They want you, so they make it a lot easier. Nursing assistant certification, it has gotten so expensive. It's like you're going to do an associate degree. So keeping your license clean, keeping your work background clean, keeping everything where you are a professional. And remember again, those of us who are licensed CNA, there are some CNAs that are just certified nursing assistant, and then there are CNAs that are licensed certified. Those of us who are licensed certified CNA, remember, you have a lot to lose. Well, anyone that pays for certification and licensing has a lot to lose because it has gotten so expensive. It has gotten so expensive. If you remember the days when every state you go in, you have to go back to school, there are states that are saying, no, we want them. So let us be mindful and keep. I used to check every year I used to check to see what is on my license at the registry, because it is so important to do that. You need to know what employers are putting on it. You need to know before you move on to another job, and so you can correct yourself. You need to know that you're in good standing with the registry. Therefore, you become more marketable. Because, you know, I was speaking to someone that I'm planning to do open interviews with proud caregivers and nursing assistant to encourage and to lift this negative tone that because you're a CNA or you're a caregiver, you are not a professional, a paraprofessional. You are a paraprofessional. You're an expert in your field as much as you push yourself. Go out there. Do your Alzheimer's courses on your own. The Alzheimer's Foundation have courses all the time. Do your dementia care certification on your own. I know in my state, you can get MedTech certified. Do those things. And when you build on your certification and your experience, the pay is worth it. The pay is worth it. So my goal when I started this platform is to lift those of us who are proud CNAs. I went to college as a HHA. Oh, remember, I'm just aging myself. You guys remember when HHA in the 70s, 80s? And then the rules changed when accountability came in. And who knows why the rules change for CNA? If there's a CNA on here, do you know why the rules change and why the profession has become one of respect? Is there anyone that knows? Just shoot it in the chat. The rules changed when the confidentiality law came about. That's when the rules changed, the requirement for education and certification changed, and it has upgraded, and it has become a proud profession for those who are proud of it. And we're proud. We're proud. There's some names that's attached. And I don't understand why people allow people to attach those negative connotations to being a CNA or a caregiver. Once you're able to take care of yourself and maintain your lifestyle, your job is a job that is a proud position to be in. So as we go forward, and as we embrace these professions, let's knock down the negative bedpan swingers. You remember I heard something the other day. I won't even validate it by repeating it. There is absolutely nothing wrong in taking care of someone who needs our help. You know, I saw on someone platform that they said, I am the one that makes the difference in your life. That thing stayed with me. Everything doesn't have to be negative to draw a crowd. If we don't stand for something, we'll fall for anything. Stand up and be proud caregivers, be proud nursing assistant, be proud teacher's aide, whatever your profession is, be proud of it. And don't apologize to anyone for being a caregiver. And if you're having a hard time in the profession, it doesn't mean everybody else are. You need to look at yourself, look and see where you can elevate yourself to get the respect you need and to be proud of what you do. because there are more people that are calling themselves caregivers now that are not certified, that are taking jobs for below what certified seasoned caregivers is taking them for. They are. You know, one of the things that I've seen on platforms that support independent or private, we'll say, caregivers and nursing assistants, they have dropped the hours to a point where you wonder, what are they looking for? I'm noticing across the employment platform, and I will not call the employment platform, but if there's someone out here that does not know that there's a private platform out here that supports caregivers and nursing assistant in getting clients. And I think the fee ranges from $10 to $15 a month to be registered. So you go on that platform. You don't have to put a resume up. What they ask you to do is to write a summary of your experience, what you're able to do, and you set your prices. This platform is wonderful. You set your prices and family finds you. Even agencies I've seen on there, even though it's for private CNAs and caregivers and family looking for CNAs and caregiver. And the fee is just to keep you, they give you alert. There's a tier. So if you're in the premium tier, the system catches a new person that's looking for a caregiver and they send it out to you right away. If you are just a regular member, then you have to go through and scroll. And so the tier, when you get into the premium slot, your information comes on the first 10 or 20. So the family sees it right away. You set your own pricing. You set your own, well, you work with the hours that they have, and you set how you would like to be paid. So the agency that advertise these, that has a platform for families to advertise to find you, they're just there to provide the platform. They don't take anything from you from the pay. It's between you and the individual. You meet there. You exchange conversation. The person will ask for, or the family will ask for your number so they can talk to you in a private environment. And it covers the 52 states, that platform. It covers the 52 states. It's right there. If I don't want to say it or put it out here, but if anyone wants the name of it, just inbox me on WhatsApp or Facebook, and I will give you the name. That platform for Arizona, a lot of visitors come here. We call them winterbirds. A lot of winterbirds come to Arizona. September is the blooming month for private caregivers and caregivers who wants to work in institutions and facilities. It's an employment Christmas here, beginning the next 2 weeks. Everybody is sending out vacancies now. And because the winter gets bad in other states, New York, Canada, I mean, people come from all over. We have more people coming into our state for care than Florida. But a lot of people don't know that. So there is a buzz right now. Everybody's gearing up to employ. Everybody's gearing up to interview and get people going for when the seasons start. Because, like, you know, unless you work full-time for a company, when you work as a caregiver, if you don't work full-time for a company and you just work for an agency, agencies are out here buzzing now. They're buzzing now, and the competition is stiff, so the pay is good. The pay is good because this is the time people come here for Christmas because we don't have winter. They come here for Thanksgiving. We don't get that cold. So people really nest here during the winter. This is why it is so important when we're moving to states, except it's for college, where you know if your child is going to college and you're moving to go to that specific college, that you have to go with the child. When you're relocating, don't go to overpopulated states. Go to states that the competition on the job is enough that you can make it. And this is why you hear a lot of caregivers complain, oh, I'm not working enough money. I'm working and I can't make ends meet. I have an episode on that. If you're working and you can't make ends meet, then we need to look at our spending. But when we're relocating for change in life, change in mobility, look for states that are underpopulated. There's a lot of us out here. The rent is more economical. You get the job quicker. And sometimes you even get better pay. So keep those nursing assistant certifications. Keep them. Keep your character, your professional character and your professional behavior active, positively active, so that when you need to transition, you don't get stuck in a state that's a little more rigid than the state you're coming out of. Guys, a profession is built by how we look at it when it comes on to entry-level work. When it comes on to entry-level work, because we're, CNAs, caregivers, that's entry-level work, but there's nothing wrong with it. When you get into the degrees now, it changes. But not because I have a degree. I have more than one degree. And I said it before. And that's why I'm so passionate about CNA and caregiving work. I started from the lowest podium, right through college, became a professional, and still worked as a CNA in an emergency room in New York for years, even though I was doing a 9 to 5. Even though I was doing a 9 to 5. So there's absolutely nothing wrong in being a caregiver. And don't let anyone stigmatize you. And when people talk around you like that, I would never do that. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. When people try to make the work that you do seem like it's not good enough, shut it down. Tell them you'll not speak about my profession like that. You'll not speak about what I choose to do like that because you're taking care of someone. Can you imagine if we didn't have caregivers out here? Can you imagine? Can you imagine if the hospitals didn't have nursing assistants? The weight, their countries, like my own country, when I look at TikTok and Facebook and YouTube and hear people say they wait on a chair with a heart problem because they don't have any staff, they don't have the resources, and we are so blessed to have everything we need to care for our clients. I'm not saying we don't wait in emergency rooms here. I worked in an emergency room for years. And one of the things I loved about my nurse manager, she would call us and say, hey guys, I need you all to go grab us some stretcher. We need to double up here, double up here. We have people waiting outside for 3-4 hours. We can't have that. She was so into not having our patients suffer outside. Say, yes, we have wait periods here. Yes, we do. But they are not inhumane wait periods. They're not. So it's a blessing to be able to work in the US because we don't go through as much discomfort as our mother country or our home country. And that is enough to give us pride in what we do. Because there are sick people out there waiting for us with the right attitude, the right behavior, and coming from a place of empathy and compassion is what makes the difference with a good caregiver and a nursing assistant. Yes, 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 yes. We have to clean, you know. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. It's a part of what we do. Yes, we have to empty the bedpans. Yes, yes, we get spit on. Yes, yes, yes. I've been through it. We've gotten calls out of our names. I've gotten calls out of my name when I worked in the office. It happens. That's why it's called job hazard. There are things that we're gonna go through in the supermarket. I was in the supermarket a couple of weeks ago, and I tell you, that thing crushed my spirit. The guy jumped in front of someone, and the cashier said to him, "Sir, she was here and her stuff is here." And he passed around, and because he had a soda, he stretched the soda over to the cashier, and she says, "I'm sorry, sir, you have to stand on the line. There are people in front of you." He spat in her face. This is not only caregiving we get abuse. He spat in her face. Look at the young lady at the hotel the other day. Someone clobbered her. So these nuances happen on our job. Doesn't make it mean that we are sub-workers, because people behavior in anything to do with human service, anything to do with interacting with each other. Look how we can tear each other down. So these things that happens on the job, it's just a part of it. We're not getting bedpan. I've worked in a hospital all my life, from I was 18 years old. And I didn't get a bedpan thrown at me every night. No. I didn't think I got one thrown at me once in more than 5 years. Because when that happens, if the person is have the doctor saying they're mentally sound, I just look at them and say, I am here to take care of you, not to be abused by you. And I go to my supervisor and said, bed A, just threw the bedpan at me, and I would like to be removed from that patient. If we're not busy, if we're not overcrowded, my supervisor would say, okay, I'm going to switch you over there and bring this person over there because the workload is too much for her over there. But in everything we do, we're going to get some type of negative feedback. So don't let the negative feedback and how people... Yes, Princess Rose. Princess Rose, girl, you always read my mind. I was going to say the W word. I was going to use the word W. That is my pet peeve. That is my pet peeve. Calling me orange when I'm green. Calling me orange when I'm green. No, that's my pet peeve. You throw a bedpan at me, half of the time I duck anyway, and all of us experienced nursing, we just develop a reflex. I see a spit coming a mile away. Girlfriend? Or we jump back. For those of us who are experienced, you used to win some? Oh my goodness, that must be hard. Because I know you're a seasoned professional CNA. I know that must be hard. I think we all have our limits. I think we all have our limits. That one is mine. That's my trigger. That's when I walk in the emergency room and act like I'm a Pentecostal pastor. Lord, hold my lips. Yeah, that one is hard. You can't come back from that. That one is hard. But the other nuances, like, you have to change, oh, you are a this cleaner and a that cleaner, and you're in foreign and you're cleaning this and you're clean. Those things are wrong. Because I'm doing what I have to do. Let me tell you something. I know caregivers and nursing assistant that drives Jaguar, Benz, have their own house after 7 years of working. Because when you stay on your job, especially jobs in New York at the time when I lived there, we're unionized. We're unionized. And if you go out to buy a car, the union, they give you a discount because you work for the hospital. When you're buying a house, the bank is a little more flexible with you because you've been at the hospital for 5 and 6 years. You're not jumping from job to job to job. So it's not the title of your job that makes you successful only. That is true. Those and I'm so glad you said that, Princess Rose Doll. Some of those statements is from dementia. It's from some type of brain injury that you'll find, and the cultural stuff comes over. These people are older. These people are older. These people are older. And, they're bringing all the stuff that they were, that they were raised believing in and hearing. And then they push that word on you. I don't know. And maybe you guys can help me because I'm not perfect in any sense of the word. But I can get through that, I can get through that. If I know the person has a mental challenge. Okay, Sharon, thanks. Nice to know you're still there. If I know the person's mentally challenged, and you see their chart, you see their H&P, which is the history and physical, and or your nursing supervisor said to you in a report, H is here because of this, that. Then you take their behavior into consideration. You take their behavior into consideration. You said, okay, this person is not flying with a full deck. This person road has some bumps in it. So I can overlook it. You know the ones I cannot overlook? The ones that comes in, you admit them. This is in a hospital setting. You admit them, you give them their toiletries and their sheets and their pillows and you tell them the doctor will be there to see you. And before you leave the room, you say, and I hope we're using this term because it helps to decrease behaviors. Once you're in the room with the person, even at home, and you're doing some tasks with the person, when you're finished with the task, always say to the person, is there anything else I can do for you before I leave? Because I might be a little busy when you're ready for me. That makes the difference in the world. That makes a difference. Okay, Angela, thank you, sweetheart. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you. It makes a difference in the world. To calm a person down with an attitude, When they call you, oh, I need a pillow. You give them the pillow. Oh, I've been calling for my nurse and my nurse is not answering. She's busy, but I made her aware that you need her. But there's anything I can do before I leave the room. That tends to help. But then there are those other ones. Okay. Then there are those other ones that come in there and they think that you are there to serve them only. And nothing you do or say can calm them. Those are the ones. Yes, Candy Stripes. Yes. Those are the ones that are always abusive. The ones that come in and they figure that the doctors should drop everything they're doing just to pay attention to them. And they have a stomachache from 3 years ago and they decide to come in on a Friday night when we have 400 gunshot wounds. Those are the ones, the name calling. Those are the ones that I always say, I will not accept the way you speak to me because I do not speak to you that way. And when we nip it in the bud, they won't do it again. Even in the home. I've had people tell me, well, I'm paying you and I want you to do this and I want you to do that. And I'd say to them, you're paying me for a service that I'm rendering. And if you'd like me to do something for you, I am willing and ready to do it. But you don't want me. I saw it. I know. Didn't you hear me go, oh, well, yes. I knew what you meant. Oh, Princess Rose, I'm telling you, you and Sharon and Angela and the rest of them. I saw it. Did you guys see what Princess Rose put up? I thought Winsome would have caught it. And Jackie, and Angela, especially Sharon. I thought Sharon would have called it Princess Rose, but she didn't catch it. I caught it. So when we're proud of what we do, it shows. And as we're talking about transferring or relocating to yes, I know. And it was the biggest joke, right? And they never got offended when you call them that. They never got offended because they get to know you and you build a relation. Those are some good days, Princess Rose and Winsome and whoever else have been in the caregiving field for years. Those 20 years ago, oh my Lord, even if they paid us $200 a week, it felt like $1,000 because of how we were treated. But now it seems as if it's a battlefield now. Nobody wants to assist with anything. Everybody just wants to complain. And let me tell you, when you're Rose, how are you? So happy to see you. It's been a while. So happy to see you. So happy to see you. Thanks for your support. Always appreciate it. I know you all just saw that, right? I don't know how it missed you, Angela. And Winsome must be sleeping. I don't know how it missed you. I thought you would have been the first one to see it. Yes, it's been a while, Rose. It's been a while, and I'm honored that you graced me with your presence. I'm honored. So we're talking about when we relocate, that there are states that will allow you to transfer your CNA license by going through the right protocol, applying to the state agencies, getting the paperwork done, and being able to be employable while you're working for the transfer to take place. while you're working for the transfer to take place, once you've started the paperwork, there are employers out here that will hire you until all that is taken care of. And I'm just recapping for those who just got in, there are some states that you have to do it over completely. And as I said before, the nursing assistant certification has become so expensive that if you are able to plan to move in states that would allow the transfer, that makes it easier for you. So the other thing I'd like to address is whatever happened in the state that you live in when you were on the job there, don't take it to this new employer. Don't take it to this new employer. These staff members have never seen you. This is your first time in their building. So you are leaving from state apple to state orange. You had a rough time at state apple, and you bring that same attitude to this new space that nobody knows anything about you. And instead of getting to know them, you start to tell them, this is how I did it when I work. Well, guess what? That's not how we do it here. That's not how we do it here. That's not how we do it here. Come alongside us and learn how we do it. One of the big thing I know, big difference here, and I can speak for New York because I've lived there for so long. You'll get an hour break, straight hour. And those of you who has it the way I'm going to say it, let me know. So you'll get 1 hour break. And I used to love my 1 hour break. For those of you who are watching, who are not in the chat, thanks for coming on. Show me some love by liking and sharing. Thank you. So here in Arizona, you only get 1 half an hour break and 2 15-minute break. In a 12-hour shift, you'll get an half an hour break and a 15-minute break. And I think there's some places that you get it on an 8-hour shift also, but it's very rare. You'll get 2 15 minutes. So you come in. I've been in buildings, and I had to say to a supervisor, what is going on? I've been in buildings that I start working at 6. Yep. The shifts here, you can get shifts here from 6 to 6, 7 to 7. Very rarely you'll get a shift in a hospital or a facility as 8 to 8. You'll get those shifts in a home with an agency. When you're working in the home for break time, they're not so rigid, because if you're smart, you're going to take your break when you're feeding them, or when they're resting, you take a little time down. But I've worked in a building where I clock in at 6. We got report. We're on the floor by 6:45. And my nurse manager gives me my first break. Okay, Winsome. Okay, thank you for acknowledging that. My nurse manager gives me my break. Imagine I came in at 6. By the time we were finished report and got on the floor, got our clients, it's about 7:15. And this woman gives me a 9 o'clock break. I remember the first time she did it, I just let it fly over my head. And then in a couple of weeks again, because nurse managers rotate, she was on my floor. And she gave a batch of us, it's 36 of us that work on the floor. because we don't have more than, if my memory recalls, I don't think we had more than 6 patients each. So there's about 36 of us that works the shift on the same floor. And she gave about 8 to 9 of us 9 o'clock lunch. And everybody was like, I ain't putting up with this. Da, 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 da. I know, it's hard. So, every time she worked the shift, this woman start the lunch break at 9. So one day, I had on this really, 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 really nice sneakers. And I only know that because every time I wear it, everybody goes, your sneakers just, when I'm tired, I just watch you walking down. I always wear neon colors. I always wear neon colors. I don't know why. I just love the bright colors. It just does something for me. And she said to me, I just love your shoes. And I said, thank you. Thank you. I said to her, can we chat for a minute? And she said, I got to run, but sure. And I said, I just want to draw something to your attention. I said, is there a reason why you're giving me 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock lunch? When I'm here until 7? We work from 6 to 7? She says, even though you've been with us for a long period of time, there are people that are here longer than you. And they lock in their lunchtime. I say, what? Because I have a time to be just dumb silly. I just go, what? She said, yes. There's about 36 of you on the floor. And the ones that are getting the early lunch, you all are within 2-3 years. These people have worked here for years. And I need my lunchtime to be finished by 2:30. No more lunch. So I said to her, can we pretend that I've been here long? Because 9 o'clock lunch, I can't do it. I cannot do it. She says, well, that's why I give you your 15 minutes at 3 and another 15 minutes at 4:30. I said, but we're talking about lunch here. We're talking about lunch. I'm hungry the whole day. And she said, let me think about it. And I left it. I must have had 9 o'clock lunch. I had 9 o'clock lunch until I stopped taking lunch to work. I just stopped. So one day she saw me and she said, next week, I'm going to give you an 11:30 lunch. I said, I'd appreciate that. She says, now, people are going to complain, but I love your attitude. She said, you're very straightforward, but you didn't come at me. I had emails sent to my boss. I had people writing notes leaving on my door. You came to me. So I'm going to give you. Why did I say that? The nursing assistant and caregiver profession, 95% of the issues we have, and I think other profession might agree, 95% of the issues we have on the job is not about the work. It is not about the work. It is not. It's about how we are treated from administration to our coworker. And then, as we said before, the clients who think it's a free-for-all because we have to empty their bedpan that they're going to throw it at us. So looking at all of that, this profession is not easy, you know. This profession is hard. You're cleaning filth all day. You're getting thrown under the bus by coworkers. Supervisors are just doing things because they have their favorite. So you have to be proud of it. Because if you're not proud of it, you'll never stay. And that's some of the reason it seems that so much caregivers are so unhappy and nursing assistant is because so much they have to deal with. But I find that when I embrace certain things in my life, I can cope a little better. So embrace it, guys. Embrace your work. Be proud of it. I'm not saying to take abuse now, because if you remember what I said, when a client is rude to me or anyone, I let them know I'm not going to let you speak to me like that. I'm not. And I'm not going to bite off their head, and I'm not going to buy all the fabric in the store in every color and every stripe, but I'm going to let you know that I'm not the one. So as we prepare to take care of those that need us, let us love on ourselves so we can be better people for them. Because with rent, family life, I can't believe gas has gone up. I don't know about anyone else. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the support. I don't know about anyone else. But is gas going up where you all live like it's crazy? Gas is so expensive here within the last week. So we have everything, and guess what's not going up unless you work private. If you work for a hospital or a nursing home, the only time that you'll get a raise is when your yearly review comes. And some people are telling me sometimes it's $1 more they get. $1. Caregivers have told me they get 50 cents more. So you tell me, with everything we have to deal with and turn around and work so hard, if we don't love on ourselves and have compassion and mercy for our coworkers. Because let me tell you, when I started this profession, oh my God, God is good, people. God is good. Because, child, I remember when I first started working at Harlem Hospital in the 70s. You step on me and you won't have a second chance. You would not have a second chance to cross me. But we grow and we evolve. And those of us who have a relationship with God, he just, with me, has to drag me and just throw me down. We can say, God, give me the strength to cope. Give me the strength to cope. It's not an easy profession. It's not easy. And as the winter months come, it doesn't matter what state you live in. If it's not going to be like Arizona, where everyone is coming to get away from the winter, the emergency rooms are packed. Rehabs are packed. The floor is packed. Prepare yourself in advance. Prepare yourself in advance for the crowd that is coming. Because every state, I don't know what it is in the winter time. Yes, it is winsome. I don't know what it is in the wintertime. If you go to the emergency room around you, they're empty. Go there 6 weeks from now, and they're full. Go to the rehab centers. They're going to be full in the wintertime. The overtime, we need extra money for the holidays. Everything is going to happen. Prepare now that it's still, the numbers, the beds are not as full. Prepare now. Prepare now. Set your family. The kids are getting ready to go back to school. Good grief, if I had to raise kids now, I don't know what I would do. I think the welfare line, I'd be the first one on it. I'll be first one on it. Looking food stamp, looking WIC, looking transportation, looking lunch, looking, I'm a find a daddy because I need child support. I couldn't raise children now. I could not. Books are expensive. The paycheck remains the same. It's hard out here working as a caregiver and a nursing assistant. It's hard. And I'm not saying other professions don't have it hard. What I'm focusing is on caregivers and nursing assistant. And I'm hoping that the little nuggets and the little encouragement will help across the board. But the focus is on caregivers and nursing assistant because I have heard so much of them crying out for help. They can't stop working because they need the money, but they're not enjoying it. They're not enjoying it. Give yourself a break, come up for air. As the kids are getting ready to return to school, restructure how you did things last semester with the children. Restructure how, if you know you're going to work overtime, because some folks has to. I always say though, and Winsome and all the seasons nursing assistant and caregivers can help me here. I always say that it's better for you to take a job in another facility 2 days a week or go on per diem with them than working overtime in the same space. Or if you work in it, because what I used to do, I work in the emergency room. So my specialty was critical care. So I would look on the OB floor to see if they have sections going on and if they need scrub techs. I would look at, I used to love transplant. I don't know what it is with me, but I love the hardest things. Transplant and oncology was where I did my overtime. Because I'm leaving the floor that I work on. I'm leaving the people. I'm Sharon Walters. Hello, how are you? Glad you're still here. Glad you're still here, Rose, and everyone else. I'm leaving the people that I just spent 12 hours with, and I'm going to a new set of people. And for me, because I'm a mental person, it changes the way I behave. Because I've never seen Nurse Jack. I've never seen nursing assistant Daisy. So when I go on another floor to work, it makes me feel like I'm in a different environment. And I found when I worked, that worked for me. So I would encourage you, if you have that ability, if you're in a hospital or a nursing home that you can go from one floor to the other and do overtime, it's better than doing it. Imagine 16 hours of the same people that just drove you crazy. It's better to switch. And sometimes it's better to go to another facility and do a part-time job. Number one, I said it before, it decreases your taxes. When you work overtime on the same job, after you pass 60 hours, everything else goes to taxes. So it's better to work overtime on a part-time job. That's just my experience. And try it. Try it. it makes you, the drive you take to go to another facility, you stop, you get your coffee, you're going, instead of being in the same building with the same people, the same patients, sometimes they leave you on the same floor. This is the reason why I stopped doing it. I work in the emergency room, and we are assigned by A. I have A group, or I have triage, or I have C. We're from A to Z. And they need 3 techs in A, because A is where the trauma comes in. So they need the most experienced techs there. And I put in for overtime, and they send me right back where I came from. And that's when I decided to look into doing overtime in different areas. So I did overtime working trauma, gunshot wound all night. And then I would go to peds, or I would go to labor and delivery. And I would go to the nursery, rock those young babies, and if the mom is not breastfeeding, they need techs to bottle feed the babies for the section moms. Back in the day, our section mom stays for 5 weeks. So I coming out of the hustle and the bustle, and I'm going into the nursery, and this is where I'm doing my overtime. And it worked for me. Thank you, Angela. It worked because it switched my brain. And unlike the emergency room, where everything is blood and guts and pain and yelling and screaming, the little cries of the babies, sometimes I will fall asleep. Sometimes those babies are so comforting, I would just nut out. I remember one time the floor manager said, listen, we know you work in the emergency room, but this is not the lunchroom. You don't come here to sleep. Girl, you're going to drop people, baby. So do whatever it takes to cope as we get back in the run of kids going to school, you working, and everything is just going to change. And before I go, I don't know if anybody remember networking. I used to work the night shift because I have to work for Westchester County in the days. So I do 11 to 7. And then I go to Westchester County from 9 to 5. I had this coworker that knew, well, everybody in my day job knew I work at the hospital, because half of the time they sick, they come in and say, Melville, could you get me in? I don't want to call you out tomorrow. And we didn't punch in, because that was a professional job. So we didn't punch in. But she would start my computer. Though that's before we weren't able to give anybody our password. There was a time when we could just share our password. When confidentiality became a big deal, we could no longer. Supervisor walk in your office and somebody open your computer and you're not in the building, you're out. She would go in and open my computer, see what time I start, and she would call me. Those beeper thing? She would beep me, and when she beat me, I know it means I have a home visit. And she would run downstairs and give me the address of the person, and I would just take off. So those days, work was easy because you have people that worked with you. I remember one time I needed somebody just to pick up my son. My coworker lived near his school. She worked days. I said, on your way, could you pick him up and just drop him by the house for me? I don't think people behave like that anymore. I think we have lost our royal mind. We're so unsupportive. But find a way to make your job enjoyable, because then it decreases stress. Find a way to manage the kids. Fix their lunches overnight. I don't understand why a 6-year-old cannot bathe themselves in 2023. I don't get it. I don't get why a 6-year-old cannot brush their teeth, because my 6-year-olds did. I put a stool And I show them how to brush. Okay, go ahead and brush your teeth while I comb your. I used to comb their hair overnight. Who remember that? When we used to comb our hair overnight and tie it down. As a matter of fact, my kids had very nice long hair. I would braid that flower shop, tie it up every night. Find ways to make it easy so it's easy to cope when you're working in jobs like caregiving that takes so much out of you. Everything is not an emergency. Yes, remember those days? And press the uniforms. And I had this thing that I would literally tell my kids. If y'all don't wipe your hands in your uniforms when you eat or when you go to the bathroom, mommy has a surprise for you at the end of the week. And if y'all come home from school and you take off your uniform and you put it over your bed foot, put it over. Remember those days, guys? I don't know, for people who are not West Indians that are watching me, I don't know how you all did it. And put it over their bed, right by the banister of their beds. And you have everything ready. And you teach the child to help themselves. Now I see 9-year-old and 10-year-old parents are dragging them. Come and bathe. Come, let me brush. Let the children help you. That's why you're so overwhelmed. And if you live with a husband or a companion, I thank you, Princess. If you live with a companion or a husband, because I will not tell anyone how to live their life. That's between you and Jesus. So if you have a companion that lives with you, get him involved. God, I used to hate when my kids, my husband used to come home from work and grab the newspaper. And the kids are running down the hallway. Yes, those things, we need to go back to those days to cope in 2023. We need to reach back into our basket. Those things that made our parents managers. I mean, my parents had 6 kids. They managed us like it was 2. And some people have 1 and they can't. You tell the child to put on the shoes and the child play. Jackie, hold me. Jackie, Angela, Princess Rose, Winsome, who else is on here? Ollie, somebody hold me, please. You have a child getting ready to go to school. The child is at the breakfast table with an iPad. And you telling the child to eat up because I'm going to be late. The child have the iPad. The child have an iPad, eating the cereal and watching. So they spend more time watching and putting the spoon in their mouth. Create boundaries and structure. Believe it or not, kids love structure. Human beings, period, love structure. Human beings love to have something to work towards. Take away the iPads. Take away the cell phone. What does a 10-year-old need a cell phone to do when they're home? I could see in these days, if you can afford it and you put structure, it's good for your child to have a cell phone on them. But you tell the child, keep the phone in your book bag. Don't advertise it. Especially those of us that lives in the island, that they become a prey. Don't advertise that you have a cell phone, but mommy needs you to call her at lunchtime. Go in the bathroom, set structure for them. Girlfriend, those were the days, Jackie. Those were the days. Let's go back. There's nothing wrong with the way we were raised. Well, let me not say it. Well, my parents never beat me. I cannot recall my parents ever beating me. Or none of us. None of us. My sister, my elder sister, oh yes. She would slap the Holy Spirit in you and slap it back out. Thank you, Angela. Let me tell you something. The people we are today, okay, Princess Rose, the people we are today, with all our flaws and all our, if our parents weren't the way they were, we would be worse. And we have to go back as working parents. We have to go back and pull on some of those experiences to make our work life better. Because when breakfast was put on the table in my house, and as much as my home was a Christian home, you couldn't even bring the Bible on the table. It's breakfast time. But everywhere you turn, heard somebody said it at church the other day. The child is in church and they're on the iPad. Children's story come and they don't want to go up front to listen to the children's story and get their little token because they can't take the iPad up there, so they rather sit down. iPad are becoming parents. And parents are becoming friends too early. Don't get me wrong. When your children get to adulthood, being their friends is wonderful. But once you are taking care of that child, you have to develop structure so you can cope at work. That's what we're talking about. How to be better. CNAs and caregivers and whatever profession you choose. How to be better at it because it gets hard. And if you follow how you feel, you'll be out of a job. So we have to develop strategies to cope. If I was raising children now, they wouldn't see an iPad until they're getting ready to go to college. And the ribbons, right? I tell you, those days were wonderful. Granted, they used my girlfriends. They used to get whipped with these whips that sometimes they come over to visit, and I see some. I say, "What happened? Daddy beat me last night because I never got the whip. I never got the belt from my parents. My mom and dad, I can't recall them ever hitting us when we were small. I can't recall. Maybe, I don't know. I have 2 older siblings. Maybe I'll ask them, but I can't recall. And that's a good thing, because if they did, I don't recall. So I don't have any sad memories. But if we structure our home life, 2 years of ribbon in 1 ounce of hair. I love it. Yes. 2 yards of ribbon. Well, ribbons? No, I don't know. I think I don't. People say they can remember from their 4 years old and 3. I can't remember nothing past 16. Ribbons, clips. Because Dad used to send the bubbles, those nice, pretty big bubbles. So my sister used to part my hair like this, and the girl used to just drop 2 in the front and drop 2 in the back. And I had this boy that sat beside me, behind me at school, and he just used to yank my hair like I'm a cow. And one day, I just got so fed up with it, he yanked my hair, and I got up and I slapped him. I was punished for days for that. And back then they beat you. Well, my father was very strict. He stipulated that no teacher hit us. Right through schooling in Jamaica, he went to the principal. Under no circumstances must my children be whipped. So they had to report to my mom or the nanny. They could not whip us. But that boy would just, it's like he was just, and I got up and I got so fed up with it, I just slap him. But my sister would part them. And then she would tie it. And you sleep at night? Those things used to squeeze me. And that hair is tied. for the week. Yes, those bubble clips. That's the name of it. Bubble clips. That's the name of it. Bubble clips. Those things used to be brutal, and you dare not take them out. Oh, guys, yes. You dare not take them out. Because maybe it's your parents that would whip you, but it's my big sister. You dare not take them out, because she'll just grab you in the morning, and she has this thing where she'll just pinch you and say, why did you take them out? Now I have to put them back in. If we could reach back and pull some of those things. Y'all are aging yourself. Y'all are aging yourself. Y'all are aging yourself. If we could just reach back for younger parents, Chinese, well, we couldn't wear that outside of our house. They will wash our hair on Sundays, early Sunday morning, because we're an Adventist. So we don't do anything on your Saturday, my Sabbath. So Sunday morning was a ritual. All the girls here, if it wasn't Thursday night for church on Sabbath. So if it don't get you here, watch Thursday night for church on Sabbath, which is your Saturday, it would be Sunday. So that's when they would put the bumps in. But we could not go across the gate with that. Oh my gosh, no, we couldn't. We could not. And I got here, and you remember when it came out? I think it was a big deal in the early 2000s. I put that stuff in my hair. I felt so cute going to work with it. I felt so cute going to work with it. And back in the day, we only do it in the house. And now it's a big fashion. And now you see them everywhere. Some of them is so big, they're bigger than car horn. Some of them are bigger than car horn. So to make our life less stressful, so we can cope with everything as we got to do on the job, let's structure our homes a little bit. Take away the iPad from the kids until the weekend so they can focus. They can focus. So they're doing their homework. No, we're really aging ourselves in this chat, you know. We're really aging ourselves. You tell the child it's time for homework. And before I go that, let me suggest another thing that worked for me when I had to work 2 jobs with small children. Another thing that worked for me is when the children gets home from school. When the children get home from school, for the first hour, and I know people are going to say, but I get home from work late, and I have to just, okay, so for the first 10 minutes, don't mention schoolwork. For the first 10, 15 minutes, when you get home from work, you know how it is. You get home from work the way you get home from church. And look at this, guys. You know, I know for me, you're going to church and everything is so put together. But once you drive that car into the garage and you open that side door, you kick off the shoes. If you wear a hat, you throw off the hat. And if you have on a dress, you just rip off the dress. And then you rip off Victoria's No Secret. And then you're down the hall. And the first chair you find, you just slap in it. Who does that? When they come home from church. The shoes is so cute. The shoes is so cute. My church shoes are not made for walking. They're made, a matter of fact, even, the club, okay. All right. Somebody said the club. I'm an equal opportunity platformer. The club, you dress like the nines. They have this thing now, I call them doilies. You remember your grandmother? When, remember back in the day, we have the China cabinet, and all the Chinas go in there until Pastor come or Sister Mary come or Auntie come, and then they spread, or it's Christmas. That's the only time some people can go near them. Christmas, you take them out and you wash them and you put the doilies. Now I see people wearing them in their hair. Crush it. Yes. I see people taking their hair and making that thing all the way down to here. I don't know what in Jesus' name. Thank you, Winsome. I don't know what in Jesus' name. You know, Princess Rose, put on the drink. Put on the drink. You're drinking tonight. Because your spelling tonight is... But it's okay. It's okay. We're a safe space here. We're a safe space here. Baby here, they call it. Now, I want you guys to help me. This is our fun space right now. We talk about the serious things already and how to get moving. Now, I would like somebody to tell me why a 30-up-year-old woman would want baby hair in their face. Help me, guys. This is a non-judgmental zone here. I just can't understand combing your hair and having all this thing going all over it. Back in the day, maybe that's why, maybe to cover the butt. Listen, let me tell you something, Princess Rose. Stop reading my mind. Stop reading my mind. Stop reading my mind. I was about to say maybe because. You heard me say maybe because? Maybe for those of you who are watching, who are not in the chat, please, please, please like and share for me, and like, share for me, like and share for me. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Listen, I have come to accept certain things with rationale. So here's what I said when I first saw this trend going. Remember when we were small and they scraped the hair? They scraped them. They used to scrape. I remember when they used to use the coconut oil or whatever, or even spit. My sister would catch me. I talk about my sister because when we were growing up, my sister was like a big mother. My elder sister. We had to be, because mother wants us a certain way and she just want to go when the car comes. And if we don't put on the shoes right, then we have to turn back, so she helps. Okay? And remember when they used to put anything they catch, the hair have to be so smooth. If nothing can, and all of a sudden, and the gel too. And all of a sudden now, grown folk decide to scrape that down and use it to make doily in the front of their head. I understand. And see, it is validating here. They scrape us so much that there are those of us who have bald spots. So we have to cover it. You know, everything that we are used to has changed so much that bringing back some of it, I think that, hair loss from the weaves. Okay. 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 I get it now. I get it now. I get it. I get it, Princess Rose. So that's what's doing it. So can you imagine? Can you imagine if we go back to some of the norms? If there's nothing normal anymore. So let's put it this way. If we go back to some of what we used to do that our parents used to do that worked, would that decrease the stress? Would that help us to cope a little better at work? Would it help us if we structure the kids a little better? Oh, Princess Rose. Oh my goodness. Girl, do you see the wings that people are wearing now? They're about to go dumb blind. Me too, Angela. Me too. Yeah. Do you all see the wings that people are wearing on their eyes now? Do you see them? Now, granted, they're cute. Some of them are cute because I remember I was somewhere once, and I think I told you all this a couple of months ago. I was somewhere once, and every time the woman, every time she quit, my head went down. It was like my head was automatic with this woman's eyebrow. It was my head just kept every time if she quint 2 times, my head would just and I'd catch. No, you think I'm playing? Everything is like wings. It's like wings. Every time she quint, my head is going. I had to catch myself and go, what is wrong with you? Suppose this woman get mad. My head just automatically went down every time she quint. This thing was so wide. It was like wipers. And I'm like, no, you can't make these things up. And my head is just going like this when this poor woman is squinting. You can't make these things up. Wide and powerful. They can clean your car window. Take less time in those things. And more time to focus on the kids and structure the home so you can cope better on the job. Now here's the one. And boy, Princess Rose and Jackie and all of you. You know the one that is, at least that one is on the eye. They're trying to put on a gloves to take care of a patient. Have you ever seen those clothes? Again, they're cute. They're trying to put on a gloves, and I had one experience where one person asked me, could you stretch it out so I could put my finger in it? And I want to say to her, if you cut them off, they can go in. Butterfly and blinkers. I'm telling you, they can clean your windshield. So we're majoring in the minors. Pardon me, guys, I have the sniffles. They're majoring in the minors because they're saying, I'm working so hard and I can't make it. No, let me tell you something. I love to look good. I love to look good. All of us women, we love to look good. But guys, I got a problem. Come here, come closer. Come closer. You all hearing me? I got a problem since I got to 50. I want to look good on a budget. I want to look good on a budget. When I used to spend, remember back in the days? We're really aging ourselves here now. Back in the days where you pay $10 to do your nails and your eyebrows, I used to do them every other week. I tend to only do my nails for special occasions. Now I just said to myself, my nails are beautiful. I'll cut them and spruce them up and I'm done, just like with my hair. I can make it nice and cute and looking as fabulous as ever. Guys, I walk into a nail salon. My eyebrows, my nails, what they call mani and pedi, and your eyebrows. The woman looked at me and told me only $250. I said, what? Because that's my favorite word. What? She said only $250. I said, good for you, Angela. Me too. She said only $250. I said, only $250? Only? She says, yes. And you should add some this on it and that on it. And I said, how much would that come up to? About $320 plus tip. So you tell me now, you're working, you're a single mother, You're working time and a half. You have to pay for transportation for the kids. Those of us who has to pay lunch. And you take up $350 on a payday. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong now. I'm not saying not to make yourself look good, because I look good all the time, every day, 24 hours a day, multiplied by 7. What I'm saying is coping on the job, coping managing your money. You're saying you're not making enough money as a caregiver or a nursing assistant. Yet every payday, you're spending $200-$300 on nails, eyelash, wings. You must be stressed. You must be stressed. Nobody's saying not to take care of yourself. Oh, I am actually not on a phone. It is a HD. Am I cute on it? Screenshot and send it to me. Screenshot and send it to me on WhatsApp. Thank you. I love you. I love you. I love you guys. I love you. I love the free flow, and I don't want the stress around. No, it is an HD. It's not a phone. I have an HD vlogging system that I got as a gift. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I got a HD vlogging system and as a gift from a very, very dear friend of mine. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad it makes a difference. This is why sometimes when I come on, because I'm still learning this system, that people are saying they're not getting notification. I'm wondering what I need to do. So I'm constantly tweaking it and calling my friend and saying, could you come and check this, and constantly testing it. But I'm glad that you guys like the pictures. Okay, so I guess I'll be able to get a husband on here then, because if when a woman tells you that you look good, because we can tear each other down. And I got my bandana on tonight, and you all still say I look good. Like you guys, love it. Keep them coming. A girl could use that. A girl could use that. A girl could use that. So in all the fun that we're having, and this is what it's about, having fun. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Having fun and learning from each other. That's what I'm about. You know, little nuggets. I worked in the home care mental health field my entire life from I'm 18. Well, Burger King. Burger King is my best employment. When I got to the age to work and my father took me to Burger King, that is my fondest work memory. My Burger King experience before I went to nursing assistant school. Well, it was HAA school, and then from there I went to nursing assistant school. My Burger King experience stays with me. Stays with me. So guys, the goal is to use whatever tool we can. Okay, Jackie, I'm about 2 more minutes. I'm going to round up now. I was about to say, Jackie, I swear, you read my mind, girl. I am hoping that when we meet, that there is something that will shift the way you do things when it comes on to work, something that will lift you a little, because we are all a work in progress. Thank you so much, Winsome. Thank you. We are all a work in progress. And I'm still working on me. And doing this platform helps me to understand me a little better. So sharing these nuggets is to help. Go back to how some of the things that our parents did that propel us to be the successful individuals we are today, and implement them. Thank you, Jackie. Implement some of the things we just talked about today. Implement some of those things that we grew up with. Take away the iPad from the children so they could focus at night. Make a bedtime schedule for the children so they could focus at night so you could get the rest you need. If you say bedtime is 8:30, don't go over 8:35. They don't have to sleep. Bedtime don't mean they have to sleep. It just means they got to go in their bed and keep quiet so you can rest. So while we're working, we can cope better. Thank you, guys. I have always enjoyed you all. Thanks for the fun time we had tonight. I look forward to chatting with you some more. Have a good night. And remember, if Home Care Queen TV has done something to make your interest piqued, share it with someone. Continue to like and support while I do the same for you. God bless. Have a good night. Bye, Winsome. Bye, Angela. Bye, Jackie. Bye, Princess Rose. Everybody just floating up. I can't see everybody. Bye. Thank you guys for coming on. And for those that are on, that are silent watchers, appreciate you so much. Thanks for coming on. Have a good night.